Hi, I'm Laycee Berkas, here with my colleague Steph Rhee to talk about building stunningly beautiful products at scale at Instagram. So both of the products we're talking about today are in the creator space because it's our mission to make Instagram the best home for creators. I'll start with IG subscriptions. We recently launched this to a small group of eligible creators. It helps creators monetize their content directly to their followers. We're especially excited about it because it's predictable income, a model people are familiar with, and most importantly, from what we hear in research, a great way for creators and fans to connect on a deeper level in a scalable way. Even though we're only in the beginning stage of the product, because Instagram is already a mature platform with billions of users, the solutions we come up with absolutely need to consider scale early on. To build at scale at Instagram, there are three main considerations that we need to balance. These are figuring out what to build and how to build from design principles, building an ecosystem beyond the core product, and of course, future-proofing. But first, I'll go into design principles. The first one we have is people first. So why not business first or monetization first, you ask? Because we believe that solutions that solve real-world problems are what make people use our product. Once we figure out what value we provide, all else will follow. And for us, the problem is that as creators grow, it becomes harder for them to keep the close ties they used to have with followers when they were just starting out. We think the subscriptions product is a great way for creators to see and interact with their true fans, early fans that have always supported them. And this helps us prioritize building features that invite interactions rather than those that only provide a passive experience. That's why one of our first features is the subscriber badge. It's the little badge with the purple crown next to subscribers' names that help creators cut through noise, easily identify their true fans, and prioritize getting back to them first. It helps creators spend their time in a more intentional and focused way, so it was no-brainer for us to build. Our second feature is subscriber-exclusive stories. Because it's ephemeral, the type of content from stories tend to be more raw and personal. This just feels so natural for creators to share more intimate, behind-the-scenes content with subscribers more frequently. It really allows them to have a deeper connection with fans beyond what they're willing to share in public. Another great thing about stories is its interactive tools. The question stickers, quizzes, polls all invite two-way interactions that promote a healthy feedback loop, where fans feel involved in their favorite creators' lives, and creators also have a source of ideas from people that care about them the most. The third feature we have is subscriber-exclusive lives. This is by far the closest thing in our app to being in the same room as the creator. This allows creators to experiment as well. We've seen them inviting subscribers on stage, doing poetry readings, answering questions, or even inviting their creator friends to do joint sessions. This kind of experimentation is super helpful in pointing out what to build next. Now that we know what to build, the second principle of simplicity tells us how to build. Simplicity is something every IG designer holds near and dear to our hearts. It's worth mentioning, though, that in product development, simplicity isn't a requirement, nor is it easy to do. It actually takes a lot of rigor and conviction to achieve. It's always been part of IG's DNA. And of course, it gets exponentially harder as we scale. For us, the simple thing to do is to meet people where they are and rely on existing patterns rather than creating a separate space or force new behaviors. Users can subscribe directly on creators' profile, see their exclusive content where they usually go to consume content. Subscriber stories are also just in their stories tray, but highlighted with a special purple ring. And subscriber lives will also show up where they usually do. And when we have more exclusive features in the future, they will also be infused into the app and feel natural to how people already use Instagram. even if we eventually need a separate space to house all the special content. Not starting with that right away is much better for product adoption and speed to market. And on the creator side, there are many more options we could have built to make things more customizable, more personal, which we would like to enable in the future. But starting out, we wanted to focus on a few ideas that provide the most value. And the most essential element we needed at launch is just price selection. So we simplified everything else to ease people in. Now, the last principle is craft. We are thoughtful about what we create and we sweat the details. Because the experience is so simple already, each element needs to carry more weight and works well within a system. Even though we were only building exclusive stories and lives in the beginning, it's critical to design and build a system that will scale. From visual branding to interaction patterns, we created a system that feels like a natural extension to the current, feels native to each different media surface, but has its own prominence and consistency with each other horizontally across IG. It definitely takes more upfront time, but absolutely saves development time later on, and it avoids thrash and confusion to your users. Now that we've touched on the core product experience, it's important to point out that for the product to succeed, you need an ecosystem with a healthy feedback loop and communities to help amplify its value. For a functioning subscriptions product, of course, we need to build the creator setup flow and the subscriber onboarding flow, along with our 3 core features. But these features alone won't be able to sustain themselves without a healthy feedback loop. We need to build tools to help creators promote their subscriptions so their followers even know about the product. Once subscribers onboard, they'll need education from us to help them navigate this new experience. Creators also need guidance as they start to experiment and figure out their new strategy and how to best provide value. We then need to build bridges to facilitate creator-subscriber communications. When people communicate, that's where the magic happens. Creators can source ideas for their next content, and fans get to collaborate with their favorite creators. It makes subscribers feel seen, which help them engage even more. The next step is to surface these deeper engagement insights to creators that would inspire even more benefits in the future. Once this bridge is built, we have a healthy community that would inspire fan-driven communities, which increase the value of subscriptions without more work from creators. That's how we can get to a self-sustaining community in the future. Subscribers will then spread the word to their other communities, which become a discovery surface for more fans to find what they may want to subscribe to. When new creators see the vibrant communities others are able to build, they will be inspired to build their own on Instagram as well. And that's how we get to a healthy flywheel. The third consideration in building at scale is to ensure future-proofing even when moving fast. While doing the simple thing first, we also don't want to build one-way doors that'll require a complete refactoring of your product. That's why we always need to vision out farther in the design phase. Even though we're not building the full feature set yet, the foundation should be built with scale in mind. And for our case, it's about portability and modularity. Portability is all about helping creators recognize their communities across the web, wherever they exist. It takes time for them to build up their community on Instagram. We want to ensure they have the flexibility to maintain this relationship with fans wherever they exist. Because we have conviction to go in this direction, we made sure to build our foundation in a way that can be portable in our next phases. Last but not least, modularity is a very important factor we started with. We want to help all types of creators succeed on IG. Different types of creators have different needs. It's important to provide diverse tools to help them assemble their own ideal package. We wouldn't want to force them into using the same tools. Modularity allows us to build industry-specific features too. Imagine being able to incorporate a product like music releases into subscriptions, where musicians can drop albums to subscribers first. These are all kinds of exciting possibilities we can enable with modularity. And with that, I'll hand off to Steph to talk about the music release product and the technical challenges behind building for small and large creators.
Thanks, Laycee. Hi, everybody. My name is Steph, Rhee, and I work together with Laycee and others at Instagram to build products for creators. I'm an engineering manager supporting a team of iOS, Android, and server engineers who build for artists in the music industry. Our team recently launched a product called Music Releases to a small group of artists to help artists showcase their new release with their fans and build momentum in this important moment of their careers. What you see here is the experience that followers of an artist would get on the day of an artist's new release. They would be notified about the new release, and from there, they could see a fun announcement video from the artist, as well as videos from others in the fan community. In the first part of our talk, Laycee walked us through what design principles we at Instagram apply to build products at scale. For the remainder of this talk, we'll look at how products like IG Music Releases are engineered for scale. Scale can mean a few things. First, how we scale our services to reach millions of fans of a creator. Second, how the same product experience can be built differently for small and large creators. And third, how we deliver content to the Instagram community with ranking and performance at scale. First, let's look at what scaling needs we have based on the size of the follower base that creator products need to reach. Creators build their livelihood on their ability to reach consumers and grow their fan base over time, so it's essential for us to build products with the scalability of reach in mind. Earlier, Laycee talked about people first as a core design principle at Instagram. A common need that music artists have as people is reaching their fans to tell them about a new release and invite them to join in on the moment. When you think about which platform an artist might connect with their fans, many of these people are already on Instagram following the artist's account. And some artists have thousands of followers, but some have millions, if not hundreds of millions of followers. So let's look at how you might build this ability for an artist to reach their fan base on Instagram at scale when their new release drops. Delivering a notification concurrently to millions of users pose a unique set of challenges that are different from the kind of notification that is triggered by a person liking your post or responding to your messages. To support these various notifications use cases in Instagram products, there are different kinds of infrastructure that product teams like ours can use. In our case, we selected a real-time massive fan-out system that's capable of delivering hundreds of millions of notifications at once. In advance of the new release street date, we fetch users that are followers of the artist and store the user IDs in an offline table. That offline table essentially allows us to avoid reading millions of users from our database at once. Rather than storing all of the user IDs, though, we apply heuristics rules to optimize which users we believe the notification will be relevant for. For instance, we may skip users who haven't been active on Instagram in a long time, as it's very unlikely they will get value from this notification. We do this right before the new release street date, such that the offline listed table of users can closely match who we would want to notify if we were to fetch the followers in a real-time online approach. Then, the notification system will push the notifications to the list of users retrieved from that offline table. The system then uses a massive fan-out approach to deliver the notifications at scale. Okay, next, let's look at how technical requirements can be shaped differently when building for small and large creators. The same product experience may be architected differently depending on the needs of the end creator we're building for. Let's take a look at this hypothetical feature called a pre-release. What you see here is the ability for a user to hear a short sneak peek of a song before it's officially available. In the music industry, that date the full song is out is called the street date. The pre-release feature allows an artist to drop a sneak peek of their song, let's say a 15-second clip, a day before the full track is available on street date. A key technical requirement of this feature might be preventing the full song from getting leaked, making sure only the 15-second clip is available for hearing. Let's consider two potential approaches to this. So one is called client-side clipping, which will be the faster, more lightweight approach. In this approach, the server sends down the full track, and the iOS and the mobile client limits the start and end times of the song available to the user. This is pretty low lift to build and is a solution that we learn may be adequate for smaller artists. However, since the song is downloaded to the mobile device, it might not have met the requirements for complete leakage prevention. Since airtight security of the new release is really important for large artists, we might consider a more robust solution called server-side clipping. In this architecture, we write a job that will create a distinct 15-second only encoding of the full track and store it as a distinct asset in the music library. When the mobile client makes a server request for the pre-release feature, only this 15-second asset is downloaded to the client, absolutely preventing any possibility of the full song being locally available on the mobile device. The important point here is both the client-side clipping and the server-side clipping would be identical user experiences, but the server-side clipping would be necessary for this feature to be safe and secure, especially for large artists. Okay, finally, let's look at how we deliver content with performance at scale, as content is the heart and soul of what makes Instagram a visually stunning product. A key surface for IG music releases is the song page, where we gather thousands, sometimes millions of videos inspired by this song that were created from the Instagram community. For artists, this is a really important page to gather buzz and excitement that fans are expressing in the new release moment. Our ranking team builds world-class, personalized ranking and global ranking models with interesting considerations in mind, such as whether the song page should recommend videos in a way that's most relevant and personalized for each user, or whether it should help users find videos that are globally the most trending, or some combination of both. Another really important area of engineering work is performance. On high traffic surfaces like the song page, we definitely want to minimize latency on the mobile client as well as optimize how often the mobile client makes server requests, since the traffic on these pages is generally really high. When appropriate, we apply caching on such high traffic surfaces. So typically, when a user queries a fresh load of a song page with a grid of videos, it will take a couple seconds for the full page to load on cold start. We then apply caching in high traffic surfaces like this to load the song page immediately in subsequent sessions within a window of a few minutes or even a few hours. Throughout Instagram, we use caching in various surfaces where the ranking of content requires high computational power like this, but the end user may not necessarily require a fresh inventory of content on every load. Client-side caching is just one of the many ways we constantly take care to improve performance at Instagram. Another example is when we recently conducted a broad audit of the backend service that powers this song page. In this broad audit, by snipping out multiple unnecessary server queries in this service, we were able to shave off end-to-end latency of this song page by 3% and even give back 0.3% of Meta's global CPU. Though these improvements may individually feel unnoticeable at a split-second difference, every team really takes care to make strong technical choices like this all throughout the Instagram app. All of these engineering contributions, when compounded, make the product experience feel beautiful and stunning in the hands of our users. That wraps up our talk today from Laycee and I on how we build stunningly beautiful products at scale on Instagram. Thank you so much for listening.